The situation has getting a lot more intense on Beatrice Avenue at the Pentecostal Basic School, where lots of voters are denying the chance of exercising their rights because they denied the Prime Minister from entering the polling station.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. This one is called You Never See Smoke Without There Is Fire. And this is based on the video that you just saw at the start of this. It's of an incident that took place at one of our polling stations in Jamaica in a Kingston St. Andrew division, in which your Prime Minister Andrew Holness constituency exists. So based on the information that is out there, based on the video evidence, it is said that the Prime Minister went to one of the polling stations and obviously he overstayed his time. The policy is that as a politician, you have 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes is up, you have to exit stage left. You don't have to go home, but you have to get the FUCK out of there. So it seems as if, and this also took place with the Prime Minister's wife and Juliet Holness, that is. So therefore, it is said, it is alleged, he then sent some police officers to other polling station in which the PNP has a stronghold and persons were denied entering, denied voting. Now people, we saw that there were some glitches with the electronic system and they went to manual, so that was also problematic. And this is based on the video that I showed you. So therefore, I am not making it up. The video do exist. You just watch the video. So based on the information, it is said that something was deemed to be funny. Something seems as if somebody was using a Sykes. There was some ulterior motive that was going to show up later on in the day. There was going to be some sorts of controversy and drama, and yes, there was. And this is based on the seat that was disputed between Andrew Holness from the JLP, your Prime Minister, and Paul Buchanan from the PNP. Now, people, the biggest controversy was that at 87 seats out of 105 total seats, Paul Buchanan was leading the Prime Minister by about 100 and something votes. 4,800 and something to 4,700 and something graph or picture on the screen as I speak. So if we do the mathematics, it was an average for Andrew Holness of 55 persons per box of the 87 box, which gave him his total, and then 56 persons or votes per box as it pertains to Mr. Buchanan. However, after the final tally, which is 105, Andrew Holness gained in excess of 2,293 more votes for 18 more boxes, the last 18 more boxes, and Paul Buchanan gained just a minimal 77. On the average per boxes for Andrew Holness, it was about 127 per box, meaning votes per box. On the opposite side of the spectrum, Paul Buchanan equaled 4 persons votes per box. So watch the inconsistency, and I spoke about this on my next channel. The first 87 boxes, Andrew Holness averaged 55 persons votes. Paul Buchanan averaged 56 persons vote per box. However, we see the vast difference on the last 18. Now, when I spoke about this, there were a couple of persons in my comment section saying that, well, them vote the PNP, or they counted the PNP stronghold first, so that is why the race was close, and that is why Mr. Buchanan was leading by 100 or so votes. And then the last 18 votes were votes that were from the JLP stronghold, in which Andrew Holness stood dominant in that era. Well, people, guess what? Like I said, I knew that something was wrong, and I knew that I was not just speaking out of my mouth. Because since then, in the last couple of hours or so, we see that Mr. Paul Buchanan is now disputing the count, disputing the result of the seat, meaning that he thinks that he was robbed of that seat by Andrew Holness and the police and all sorts of persons that are part of the conspiracy, including the director of the election committee, whatever the case is, whatever it is called. Don't quote me on the name. So people, I am going to let you take a listen, take a look at exactly what Mr. Paul Buchanan had to say in his dispute, and then I am going to give my piece.
According to the PNP candidate for West Central St. Andrew, Paul Buchanan, the preliminary results bear no resemblance to the history and data of the constituency.
This constituency has 13,400 voters, and never before has the Mullines division recorded the numbers we were seeing in any general election.
Mr. Buchanan is alleging the irregularities were concentrated at the polling stations in areas considered People's National Party strongholds.
At DuPont, in particular, the conflict in terms of the outturn or the outcome and the numbers, the preliminary numbers, could not be supported.
At the Taylor Basic School, the Mall Road cluster, more irregularities, he claims.
Again, there we had significant numbers, so much so that after a visit by Andrew Holness yesterday, voting was ordered stop inexplicable.
He says his team is also investigating the strange removal of several boxes.
Is that there were some boxes over Seaward Drive or the Seaward School cluster that went to the polling station long after everywhere else in Jamaica, despite the fact that it was about 300 yards away or 300 meters away between Seaward School and the counting center. And when my attorney asked for an explanation, they said that the responsible person was sick. Now, we'll have to go into that as far as the sickness is concerned, or who was the responsible person, whether as a presiding officer. So the question will be asked. Again, at Drews Avenue, where another of our strong cluster of boxes. The pickup people took a route which is inexplicable. Instead of going straight from Mullines, coming up Mullines and go straight through to Bay Farm and Waltham to the counting center, they went through a hazardous path, a perilous path, down Olympic, to drop off 2 policewomen. And we have witnesses of all these things. And through a throng of GLP, crowd and all of that, to 3 Mile and then up.
Mr. Buchanan is calling for a thorough investigation, but says he has not officially reported the matter to the EOJ as he's gathering evidence and will do so in a week.
Now, people, this is my disclaimer once again. I am just saying, in my opinion, as a reasonable person, objective person, I see something very, very wrong with the maths. The maths is not mathsing, the maths is not adding up. The law of possibility or probability definitely does not apply. And like I said in a previous video that I did about this subject, is that unless, of course, I can guarantee factual evidence that those 18 last boxes were from JLP stronghold in which Andrew Holness stood dominant, then there was no sort of rational. It makes absolutely no sort of sense. And when we listen to Paul Buchanan, and again, Paul Buchanan might just be saying stuff that is beneficial for him. But if what he is saying is true, and those were not JLP stronghold, then definitely something was wrong based on what Mr. Paul Buchanan is saying. And again, Paul Buchanan is a representative from the PNP, so whatever he says might not be objective, but we have no evidence to say that what he is saying is not objective. So people like me say, the figures are out there. I showed you everything. The first 87, the average, and then I showed you the last 18 and the average. What is the possibility or probability of things changing so drastically, in which the prime minister's count increased over 100%, and then Mr. Buchanan's things decrease over 90%? So him get less than 10 per box than what he was getting for the first 87. People, things in life just don't go like that. And again, this is my disclaimer. I am a blogger. Whatever I see out here that does not sound right, that seems to be corrupt, that seems to be questionable, that is what I speak about. So therefore, if the PNP gives me something to speak about, I will and I have. If the JLP gives me something to speak about, I have and I will always do that. You and I know that the problem is not me, the problem is people wants bloggers that they want to tell them what they want to hear. People hate the truth. People hate for persons to tell them what is against their agenda. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself the question, you as a human being, man or woman, what is your objective? What is your purpose in a life? Is it to lie and cheat and get exactly what you want because it fits your agenda? Or is it truth and justice? I do not think, in my humble opinion, that a lot of Jamaicans care about truth or justice. I think they care about what benefits them, what they think is for them, or what they think it is for their people. There is no sort of objectivity. There is mostly partiality. People are just partisan. And when they see somebody that is objective, because the truth and the fact is that every and anybody knows who are the PNP bloggers. That would be Wayne Lonesome, and that is not any disrespect to him. People choose what they want to choose and they defend it. As far as who are the JLP bloggers, I do not respect them enough to even acknowledge them, and that is not me picking side for the PNP. It is just me doing my job. So in the words of the great Bigger Ford, me just do my work. Allow me to do my work. I do not care about your opinion when you make your comments in the comment section, because I know that it is not factual. I am giving you evidence and I am giving you the facts, and I am stating everything in a picture or video so that you can see for yourself. What you want to accept or don't accept, that is exactly up to you. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, based off the picture that you see on the screen as I speak, is of a man known as Tajay Romel Williams, Jamaican living in Ocean City, Maryland. However, that Jamaican was charged for some serious crime, jumping over the fence as some young girl, jumping over the fence as some older people, and also assaults. He is presently locked up. However, he was given an order of removal, deportation. So therefore, he will be coming to a theater, a district, a city near you. And don't feel as if when he gets here, the Jamaican government relevant authority is going to do everything to safeguard us, meaning family members, mothers, fathers, daughters, least most vulnerable in a society, against this man, because this is exactly what is going to happen. He is going to be taken to the police station. They are going to run his background. If he is not wanted for any crimes in which him ditch runway, go America and then hold and then come back, he will be set free on the street. They are going to tell us that he is going to be monitored wherever he goes, and he would probably have to check in, or they are going to do a check on him on a regular basis. People, that is furthest from the truth. This man, like many other petties that are set free in a society that got deported, will be there doing whatever they so choose. Some may just say, if and when, well, it's inevitable that he's going to come back. If you see this man in a place, just know that this man is known. He has a reputation of jumping over people fence. So therefore, hide your granny, hide your mommy, hide your wife, and even most importantly, hide your picnic. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called another Jamaican tale of tragedy, just because of worthlessness, because of recklessness, because of the madness by these maniacs on the roads. The picture that you see on the screen is of a young youth known as Dale Johnson. He works at Sandal as a bartender. As a matter of fact, he was awarded as one of the best bartenders of the week a couple of weeks ago. So the youth had a bright future. However, that future was cut short by a man, a taxi man driving a Toyota Voxy. So pretty much Mr. Johnson had just left his house on his bike about 3 meters, meaning about 9 feet, 10 feet from his house. When he was hit off his bike running a ditch, him lick him head. I don't know if he was wearing a helmet or not. He lost his life. He was rushed to the hospital. However, he did not make it. Too late was the call. Now, the family member, specifically the auntie, is saying she wants justice for her family because this could have been avoided, because most of these taximen are driving very reckless on the road. I want you to take a look at exactly what the aunt has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
When I got the news about what happened to the land, it was a very devastating one that I couldn't have digested until this minute. This is something that I was not expecting anytime soon. You know, it is appointed until man wants to die, but this is one that I cannot digest and will not digest for now. It's very hard. Taxi operators, they need to be more vigilant, pay keen attention to other road users because they drive so reckless. Not all, I would not categorize everybody the same, but they need to be more vigilant. And as it relates to the family, we just need justice because everybody would have wanted justice. He's a very talented one for the past year and a little since. He's at Sandals. He has been awarded like bartender of the week and stuff like that, so you know he's doing great.
So people, you heard exactly what the aunt had to say. The sad thing is that it is this same road in which Mr. Johnson lost his life, in which 2 bikers lost their life maybe less than a week ago. So we see this place is a hot spot. This place is known for crashes. And it is because the persons are not learning from the mistakes of others before them. So therefore, they might do the same thing, so insanity. Now people, what makes this so bad is that the family is saying, the taxi man was on the opposite side of the road. He saw a customer. Instead of making the passengers, come on the next side, he just swiftly switched to the next side. That was when him lick off the youth off his bike and then the man take for himself. He was actually warned for prosecution, so more than likely, he is going to be charged by members of the JCF, meaning officially. However, at the end of the day, whenever you are a young youth, that is probably one of or the main breadwinner for the family, and you have a great future working in the tourism hospitality industry, you stand a good chance of making some money. You stand a good chance of even meeting somebody and getting your life transferred overseas if you have the skill sets, if you have the determination and the ambition to get better for yourself. As you see, is a handsome little youth. Don't know if you have any sorts of lyrics or not. However, whatever the case, all of that dream has gone up in a smoke. Pretty much he is gone. No hopes of anything like that happening any again. And even if that, just the basic that the family have their family member that is assisting them financially and just somebody that you love, you do not want anybody that is a family member to lose their life. So when we just talk about the basics, that is the right of the family member to have their family member. This youth just wanted to go to work, making money, come home, support him family and live a decent life, which he was, unlike a lot of low lives out there. Now, people, what makes this even worse is that this keeps happening, but persons don't learn from the mistakes of others or even their own mistakes. I am going to let a man, Dr. Lucian Jones, explain everything in details in the amount of persons that have lost their life since the start of 2025. And this year is supposed to be a record year that is going to be worse than last year and probably worse than many, many years that Jamaica have seen. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
I'm told that the road on which the crash occurred is a particularly dangerous road. It's the same road that 5 people died in a crash some months ago. I'm told that it was raining, and therefore we need to warn people in Westmoreland that they must be extremely careful driving through that parish in general, and in particular on the black spots where the police have identified. They are to be extremely careful when driving in that area. The road in question is a road along the Belmont Main Road, near to the Belmont Academy. And therefore we want to warn our Jamaicans that we are facing very difficult times on our roads. This 5% surge compared to last year means that if we're not very careful and manage what is happening between now and Christmas, we're going to have many more people dying this year than last year, which would be an absolute disaster. So a warning and a caution to all road users, especially the motorcyclists. For people driving in Westmoreland along the Belmont Road, people on motorcyclists to wear a helmet, to slow down, to stay in your lane, and not to overtake carelessly.
So people, there you have it. Saw the tragedy, heard the facts, heard the survey, heard what this man had to say about everything. If persons don't learn from the mistakes of others or even the mistakes of themselves, Jamaica is only going to be a deadly place as it pertains to vehicle, bikes, or even by the gun. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.